Our next little ditty that we're going to play with you is called Expert. Now here we have a panel of experts who are specialized in one field or the other. Now, we need questions for these experts, but I will warn you, sometimes they use language that you might not quite understand. So, any questions? Any questions about anything? I can't see hands. Go ahead.
What's spam made out of?
I'll take that question. SPAM is an acronym for stuff posing as meat. And that's what SPAM is. Anything that poses as meat. Tofurkey. That's it.
And what is your name?
My name is Dr. Phil.
And you specialize in?
In plant matter.
All right, next question.
How does Jell-O stay firm?
I actually spent my summer studying this very topic. Okay, so you know when you put Jell-O in the refrigerator, you think that because the refrigerator is cold that the Jell-O stays firm. This is an example of correlation with no causation. I would like to point out that while the refrigerator is cold and the Jell-O stays firm, these are not necessarily mutually related subjects. So what the refrigerator actually does is that little light up there in the refrigerator, when you open it, when it goes off, that tells the Jell-O, all right, you know what? Forget this melting stuff. I'm just gonna stay wiggly, and it does. It does stay wiggly. My name is Jonathan Baby Powder Tie.
And what do you specialize in?
Geriatrics.
How do we solve the economic crisis?
The current economic crisis cannot be solved. My name is Jim.
What do you specialize in, Jim?
I know a lot about the Bible.
Next question.
Why is the sky blue?
Anyone? To any one of our experts?
Yes, anyone.
I'll take that one, Will. The sky is blue. We know this. Or do we? If we can only trust what our senses tell us, how can we be sure that we are not being tricked by a third party that is interfering with our senses and distorting our reality? Yeah, I've been reading my existentialism all right. The sky is in fact green. How about that?
Next question.
What is the trick to actually getting, when you make a peanut butter and jelly, from keeping the peanut butter and the jelly from mixing together? I've never figured it out.
It's actually a very expensive process. You have to go through an application process to hire tiny men. Tiny, millions of them. And they are all in a union. Sorry. So you have to hire these tiny men. And you take your bread, you put your jelly on it, and then you empty this can of these tiny men, onto your jelly, and they go like this. And then you take your other piece of bread, you put your peanut butter on it, and you smash them together. And the men are so strong, yet they're tiny. That's the key. And so they're standing like this, and they keep your jelly and your peanut butter from intermingling. This is gross texture.
What happens to the tiny men when you eat them?
Once people leave the union, there's more room for others to join.
Any questions over here? Yes, back there.
Why should you not count your chickens before they hatch?
9 years old. I had a pet chicken. Her name was Zelda. Zelda used to lay a lot of eggs, every day in fact. And so the thing was, I would go out in the early morning when it was bright and crisp and clear, and I would go to gather Zelda's eggs. And I would pick one up, and it was like a white jewel. And I put it in my basket and skip along merrily because those were simpler times. And we started a little family business selling Zelda's eggs. And one day we got a huge order, would allow us to move out of our log and stick cabin and buy a nice brick one. And so this order was for 500 eggs, and we could supply them over the next year. And we're like, that's nothing. Zelda does at least 2 eggs a day. So we were like, yeah, we could do that. And but Zelda died. Zelda died, and we didn't have enough eggs. They took our stick and log house, and we had to live in a pile of mud. Y'all got it good. Y'all don't know.